For Angus Licensing Board.
Good morning everyone and welcome to this hybrid meeting of the Angus Licensing Board. I would like to remind all members and attendees that this meeting is being recorded and webcast live on the Council's YouTube channel. I'd like to remind all remote attendees to mute their microphones when not speaking unless they wish to speak, and they could do so by raising their hands remotely. Can I also remind remote members attending the hybrid meetings where quasi-judicial matters are being considered that they will not be permitted to participate by audio only and must have their camera and video functions switched on at all times. So we'll start with item number 1 on the agenda, which is apologies for absence.
Convener, there's no apologies. Today we have Councillor Gavin Nicholl and Councillor Speed joining us remotely.
Thank you, Fiona. Can I just ask Councillor Speed if I can just ask that you turn your camera on before we move on to the next agenda item, please? Thank you very much. So item number 2, declarations of interest and statements of transparency. Do anyone have anything they wish to declare? Nope, I see no hands, so we'll move on to number 3, which is the minutes of the previous meeting. These are submitted for approval as a correct record for the meeting of this board held on the 21st of August 2025. Are these minutes agreed? Thank you. Number 4, premises licence request to vary under the Licensing Acts 2005. This is report LB 3225, and this is for the Lorne Bar in Arbroath. And I believe we have the applicants and their agents here, so if you'd like to come forward, please. Good morning and welcome, thank you. Mr. James and Mr. Toner, I believe. Yeah, that's correct. This is your opportunity if you'd like to talk to the board for your application, please.
First of all, I want to apologise for not being at the meeting last month. My other director partner, Laura Winter, attended. Since then, I've viewed the email in detail about the volume and decibel recordings, etc., which we had to adopt for the pub. Can I just go right back from day one and why we're applying for an entertainment's licence? The pub's been around since 1743. Firstly, it was a bookstore, and then after, for the last 300 years, it's actually been a pub. We are the new owners now. So because of the state of the industry, it's shrunk by 14.2% since March 2020. So we, as a small pub, where we have a capacity of about 45 people max, we're wet dry sales only. And we're looking at new ways and new strategies and avenues to produce more sales, hence the entertainment's licence. The pub itself has been there, as I say, for over 300 years. So we're asking the licensing board to, well, plead for the licensing board for another revenue stream, as in i.e. entertainment's licence. One of your colleagues asked me at the start about the food licence that we're trying to adopt. Can we leave that to another date, please, and just address the music entertainment's licence?
Yes, that's fine. If you choose to do that, that's fine.
Okay. I understand also that from the management case study, we've sent the relevant information in, but we haven't set dates on the management case and where that volume and decibel recording was taken. Now, that's a lack of communication between myself and Laura, so we'll adopt that. Can I ask, would a simple email to the licensing board be applicable and achieved if we send that, those details.
Okay, so we'd need to speak to ECP and take their view upon that.
Yeah.
Would you want them to come in with that now, or do you want to finish your deputation?
Yeah, we'll do that now.
Yeah,
please.
so can we have ECP, please?
Oh, sorry.
Convener, can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you, Martin.
Yeah. In terms of the noise management plan, we would be happy to receive that from an email and give advice as necessary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what we'd like to know is, are you looking to continue with your application today, or would you like to defer this further so that we can give you the opportunity to put in your application for your noise management and anything else and conclude all of that? Is that what you're looking
Yeah,
to
please
do?
continue with the application.
So the applicant, board members, the applicant's asking for the matter to be further deferred to allow discussions between himself and ECP in terms of developing the appropriate noise management plan. I have been advised that the time frame which is set down in the legislation requires a determination with 119 days. That does take us to the 14th of October. However, I should draw your attention that there is no sanction should that time frame be exceeded within the legislation. So it is a matter for you to consider whether the next board is appropriate, which I think is, thank you, 30th of October. So it's just slightly past that 119 days, but not much.
Councillor Whiteside.
I think I would be comfortable about being flexible with that, particularly as the 14th falls within the holiday period, and we would be unlikely to be able to call a meeting during that period.
Good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, given what we've just heard, etc., I think a wee bit of flexibility wouldn't come amiss. And I think round about what I would term the tatty fortnight, has anybody picked tatties now? I really think, you know, that's going to elongate things. So I do think a wee bit of flexibility wouldn't go amiss here, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Meehan.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I wouldn't have any issues with the deferment on this case.
Any other comments from members there? Councillor Whiteside.
Yes, sorry, I just meant to say to the applicants that I commend their ambition in trying to expand the business, etc. I'm really supportive of that, but obviously you need to follow the rules like everybody else. So, yeah, good luck with your bar.
Thank you. In that case, we will defer to the 30th of October. I would advise strongly that you get in touch with ECP and put forward the relevant bits that are outstanding, because we won't be able to defer further. It will be heard on the 30th, regardless of the state of your application. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, okay.
Councillor Braze.
Yes, sorry, convener. I've had contact from Councillor Dunno to tell me she's been trying to access this meeting remotely but hasn't been able to get in. So just thought I'd better let you know.
Thank you for that. So can I just confirm with all members that we're happy to defer this to the next meeting of the board, which is the 30th of October? Great. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, thank you for that. So moving on, our next item is number 5, the Chief Constable's Annual Licensing Report. This is report number LB 3625. And I believe we've got Constable Darren Smith here to present to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Convener and Your Honours. Just to confirm, do the members of the board have access to the Chief Constable's annual report?
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Blythe, thank you. I do not intend to read out the Chief Constable's annual report in its entirety. However, this financial year has seen 697 occasional licence applications processed in the Angus Council area, which is a slight reduction from the previous year. We have processed 141 personal licence applications, 12 premises licence applications, and 73 variation to licences requests, which represents a slight increase in all 3 areas. Within the reporting period, the Divisional Licensing Team submitted 0 applications to the board in respect of personal licences, 0 applications to the board in respect of premise licences. There was 1 notification of conviction letter submitted on behalf of a premise and 1 notification of conviction letter submitted in respect of a personal licence. The licensing officers routinely carry out licensed premise inspections and checks and paperwork to ensure legislation compliance. Any breaches are pointed out to the licence holder, and usually the matter is rectified immediately and no further action is taken. We are regularly in contact with the licensing standard officer and have a good working relationship with Mr. Kevin Leith and ensure he is cited on any visits and compliance issues we discover, and we carry out joint visits on occasions. Angus community-based police officers are encouraged to routinely visit licensed premises within the locality areas and are dedicated to the weekend policing plan to support the nighttime economy. There was 49 recorded inspections within the Angus area to licensed premises. A key task for the Divisional Licensing Team is on a day-to-day basis to review all incidents that have occurred either within or in the vicinity of licensed premises throughout the board area. Offences that we've occurred since the 1st of April 2024 and the 31st of March 2025. A person behaves in a disorderly manner and refuses to leave a licensed premise. We have 1 incident recorded. In relation to a person on relevant premises whilst drunk behaving in a disorderly manner, we have 2 incidents recorded. And in respect of sale of alcohol without a premise licence or an occasional licence, we have 1 recorded. We have a range of options to assist us with these identified issues. These options form a staged but flexible response from simply engaging with and advising the staff at a licensed premise at the lower end of the scale, to grading the premises as being problematic and requesting a review of any premise licence by the licensing board in relation to the more serious matters. The level of engagement from within the Angus licensing trade is very good, and in the vast majority of cases, this approach reduces the recurrence or escalations of incidents. Within the reporting period, there were no licensed premises within the board area that had an agreed action plan with the Divisional Licensing Team. Within the reporting period, there were 74 recorded incidents to licensed premises within the board area, and as I've outlined, including drunkenness, disorder, or minor breaches of licensing legislation. In regards to children, there have been no incidents of the sale of alcohol to a child or young persons within Angus Council area within the last 12 months. With regards to proxy sales, the buying of alcohol on behalf of a child or young persons, I'm happy to say that there were no incidents of this taking place within the Angus Council area. In 2022, we launched our national campaign, It'll Cost You. This campaign is aimed at preventing and deterring the sale of purchase of alcohol for anyone under the age of 18. Licensing officers visited premises in and around Angus and delivered posters and training to staff to raise awareness of potential proxy sales. Our Police Scotland youth volunteers and community officers have been working hard with the local licence holders and throughout social media platforms to educate and help prevent children buying alcohol, which has good results, leading to several incidents where staff have refused the sale of alcohol as a precaution This campaign will continue into 2025-2026. Now, we have test purchasing, which is a tool available to Police Scotland in terms of Section 105 of the Licensing Scotland Act 2005. The standard operating procedure has now been finalised to ensure it is legally compliant and cannot be challenged in court. However, it is a tool to be used as a last resort, as it involves the authorisation of director surveillance, and paramount consideration has to be given to the health and welfare of the young persons involved. The process involves specific selection of young persons, and this can be complex and lengthy. The operation must be intelligence-led, and there also must be a legal requirement to inform the premise licence holder that they may be subject to test purchasing to ensure a fair and lawful result. Due to this, there were no test purchasing operations carried out during the period of this report. Consideration will be given to carrying out test purchasing operations in the future where there is credible intelligence identifying such issues. During the year, the Divisional Licensing Team have supported colleagues from the Home Office and Immigration Enforcement Team and Trading Standards. Various days of actions targeting illegal workers and human trafficking and trading checks within the Tayside area were carried out. It is the Divisional Licensing Team intention to continue joint operations with the Home Office, Enforcement Team and the Trading Standards during the 2025-2026 period. Over the forthcoming year, the Divisional Licensing Team will continue to work in conjunction with the community and response officers towards achieving local and national priorities by tackling alcohol-related violence and disorder and ensuring strict adherence to the licensing objectives whilst upholding strong partner relations together, and we will work towards a safer and more resilient community. Looking forward to 2025-2026, we will again welcome large-scale events to the Tayside area, and in particular Angus. The licensing team will work in partnership with event organisers and Angus Council to scrutinise and support alcohol management plans to ensure the safe operation of these events. We will continue our bystander training to promote intervention and prevention and in and around the licensed premises by delivering this to licence holders and premise staff, SIA staff and taxi drivers. I'm currently working with Angus Council, namely Maureen McGinley and Aileen Burness, to create a hybrid bystander training package that can be rolled out across the Angus Council area. That's still a work in progress. The bystander was developed by Best Bar None with the support of Police Scotland, Safer Communities, and have developed the training, which the aims are to understand what vulnerability is, to recognise the impact factors, identify those who may be vulnerable, and understand what our duty of care is. We look to emphasise that by identifying signs of vulnerability at the earliest opportunity, and the liquor and civic trade workers can take steps to support actions that they take, thereby minimising the risk to themselves or members of the public. The training package consists of a PowerPoint presentation, which includes 3 short films, which are based on real-life scenarios, with each having 2 endings, a good ending and a bad ending. The format is designed to encourage attendees to engage with the videos to provide their observations and heighten their own awareness and confidence. We want to support licensees and the civic trade, to those who work in pubs and clubs, to spot the signs of spiking and ensure their premises are safe for all. The Divisional Licensing Team have all received training to enable them to deliver the bystander awareness sessions to stakeholders. The team will actively be engaging with licensees to offer awareness sessions and to them and their staff. May I take this opportunity to thank the board and all staff at Angus Council, and we look forward to continuing a close working relationship in the forthcoming year, ensuring the licence objectives are met and we continue to safeguard our communities to whom we serve. I'm obliged for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Constable Smith. Do any members of the board have any questions for Police Scotland? Nope, I see no hands. In that case, are we happy to agree the report from Police Scotland? Please. We are. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we'll move on to item number 6. This is the personal licences, delegated approvals, report number LB 3725. Members will have read that. Are we happy to note these? Thank you. Item number 7, occasional licences, delegated approvals. Again, this is report number LB 3825. Are we happy to note these? Thank you. Item number 8, premises licences, minor variations, delegated approvals. Sorry, Councillor Durno, I didn't see you there.
Yeah, thanks, Convener. I just wondered why there was so many occasionals rather than being made permanent, because the likes of Moratis in Arbroath has got 10 occasionals. Inverkeithing Village Hall Committee's got 6. Forfar United's got 8, and Ruislip have got 4. Now, I note that Nazir Hussain has got some as well, but that's mobile locations, so he's maybe a travelling sort of events thing. But why are these other applicants, why are they not on permanent licence? Why are they all on occasionals? Anybody can answer that?
Yep, thank you, Councillor. There's no compulsion on anyone. The legislation allows either occasionals or premises licences to be used. It's really up to the applicant to determine what they're doing. You will recall, though, that Ruislip have put in a variation, so that will be coming to an end. They've extended their premises licence. And with regard to the other one, which you mentioned, I can't remember which one was that again. Sorry, Councillor. Moriarty. No, you mentioned Moriarty's. You'll recall that was the provisional has been granted by the board previously, and therefore it'll be moving towards a full licence. So that's just covering them in the interim.
Okay, I just thought it would be less paperwork for you guys if they didn't have to keep putting in so many occasionals.
We have no control over that at all. It's, as I say, it's entirely for the applicant to determine how they want to proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So again, we'll move on to item number 8, the premises licences, minor variations, delegate approvals, report LB 3925. Again, these are for noting. Are we happy to agree that? Thank you. Item number 9, extended hours, delegated approvals. This is report LB 4025. Again, this is for noting. Are we happy to agree that? Thank you. Item number 10, premises licences under the Licensing Acts, Scotland 2005. Licences surrendered. Again, this report is for noting. Are we happy to note? Thank you. And just before we move on to item number 11, I would suggest that the live stream is stopped prior to consideration of the following item, so as to avoid the possible disclosure of third-party information which may be sensitive. The meeting will, however, remain open to the public that are here in person. Are we happy to agree to that? Agreed. Thank you.
Claire or Sarah, could you please stop the live stream? And that concludes the recording for Angus Licensing Board today.